Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast. I'm your host, Lambert Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And for those of you who are interested in even more positive and encouraging tips and strategies beyond what I share in podcasts like this, then feel free to check out my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, nationally recognized for the unique way in which it addresses the often difficult topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. Designed for more than just therapists, if you're a helping professional in any way, diversity in clinical practice can help you meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve. And it's available in paper and audiobook versions for your convenience. If you haven't heard it yet, I invite you to visit TED.com and check out my talk called What to Do When You Offend Someone, where I offer a positive and practical perspective on how to navigate unintentional offenses in daily life. To date, it's been viewed over 500,000 times. Check it out for yourself, and if you're encouraged by it as well, share it with a friend. And whether it be through my one on one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author or speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. So, today I want to share with you an encouraging perspective on the need for BIPOC Mental Health Month. If you're not already aware, July is BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month. The designation serves as an opportunity to shed a spotlight on the mental health needs of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC. As with many other appreciation or heritage months, there's often a misunderstanding that surrounds its purpose, its impact, as well as the ramifications on those who identify with the group whose needs are being recognized versus those who do not. As I'm a fan of providing clarity in the face of confirmed or potential misunderstandings, I'd like to take the next few moments to share a few considerations regarding the need for BIPOC Mental Health Month. Consideration number one. Culturally specific experiences can create culturally influenced mental health struggles. Just as everyone experiences physical health challenges at times and benefits from intentional preventive as well as responsive physical health maintenance efforts, so does everyone experience mental health challenges at times and can similarly benefit from intentional preventive as well as responsive mental health maintenance efforts. Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC, as individuals, couples, and families in particular, face common as well as unique challenges. Many of those challenges are new each day, and many are cumulative, having slowly built up over time. From overt racism, which, though evolving over the years, still permeates personal and professional interactions on a daily basis, even if not in your regular interactions, to subtle intentional or unintentional offenses or microaggressions, which, despite the micro implication in the word, can have a devastating impact on those in the BIPOC community seeking to simply live their lives without unearned obstruction, but find it difficult to do so in ways that those efforts seem inconvenient at the least and at worst traumatizing in a variety of ways. And while life can be stressful for all of us, some cultural groups are still wrestling with the lingering impact of historical traumas, while also navigating the residual remnants that seem to permeate those on a daily basis, all while trying to move on, holding on to hope that the present and the future can be better than the traumatizing past. But as many who have been in an intimate relationship knows, it can be difficult at times to move on from a hurtful ex when you're constantly surrounded by reminders of past bad experiences. And even worse when they somehow pop up in your life again today. Even if the experiences can be described as different than it was before. In one of many ways, the caution it generates regarding whether the past will repeat itself and whether time and energy, mental and emotional energy, needs to be invested in taking steps to protect oneself or reduce the likelihood of it happening again, all take an emotional toll. Even if everyone shares similar long term goals for the future, just moving on is easy to say, but not always easy to do. Which leads to consideration number two. BIPOC mental health struggles are not a sign of weakness or inferiority. There's an unfortunately common tendency to view mental health struggles as a sign of weakness, which is especially impactful as a sentiment in the BIPOC community. This is in part due to the well known yet also sobering mantra that you have to be twice as good to get half as much, for it unfortunately contributes to many believing that the unhealthy mindset of any less than ideal display of mental health efficiency could result in unacceptable personal and communal setbacks. This is simply not sustainable long term. Life is hard for all of us in many ways at different times. Thus, worrying that you have to hide the reasonable reactions to life stressors can contribute to feelings of stress and anxiety and depression, amongst other mental health struggles. Many in the BIPOC community already worry about being vigilant and not risking rest, being constantly on the lookout for those who might do them harm. Those who have not been physically or emotionally harmed in any way in life may have the privilege of viewing this vigilance as unnecessary. But those who have experienced some sort of physical or emotional harm in the past may understand more easily the reality that even if some time has passed, the potential risk of future harm to you or anyone you care about is often enough to take priority over other legitimate priorities. This impact of mental health struggles on legitimate priorities is unfortunately all some people will see, leading them to make the wrong conclusions about people's abilities or priorities or the lack thereof, which leads to consideration number three. Increased appreciation of mental health in the BIPOC community can contribute to increased strategies and support. The understandable aversion to displaying mental health imperfection has not automatically resulted in intentional strategies to equip those in the BIPOC community with the skills to develop and maintain healthy mental health practices. In order for this to change, there needs to be an increased awareness of the legitimacy of the need for BIPOC mental health growth and maintenance. Increased validation for the unique experiences that have contributed to the otherwise common needs, as well as increased time invested in empowering and equipping those in the BIPOC community with mental health maintenance skills in such a way that those skills can be nurtured, maintained, and not just modeled, but also directly taught to the next generation and for generations to come. For some, this will mean having intentional conversations at home with friends or others in a circle of support about how you're doing or about how they're doing and what things can be done to more often offer and experience sustained mental health support on a regular basis. And for others, your particular adjustments to life stresses may benefit from the support of a mental health professional, not as a sign of weakness or lack of self sufficiency, but as an acknowledgement that the greater the stressor, the greater the skills needed to overcome those stresses. And there aren't any prizes in life for figuring it all out on your own. So make the most of those trained to do this very thing. Learn what you can, and then take it on your own from there. With all this in mind, my hope for you is that you will be able to see the need for BIPOC Mental Health Month as an opportunity to put a spotlight on the often unacknowledged or underacknowledged need to validate common as well as unique mental health experiences in the BIPOC community, while also challenging yourself and everyone to do whatever is within their power to support those efforts for the betterment of everyone. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening to today's Diversity Do podcast. If you have any pressing diversity related questions that you'd like me to address on an upcoming podcast, or if your organization is in need of a shame free or empowering speaker or training on this often sensitive topic, then feel free to reach out to me directly at www.diversitymadesimple.com. And if you know of anyone else who can benefit from a positive and encouraging perspective on the often difficult topic of diversity, feel free to send them a link to this podcast so they can be encouraged as well. Or share with them my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, available at Amazon.com. And don't forget to visit TED.com and check out my talk on what to do when you offend someone. I hope it inspires you and that you share it with someone else so they can be inspired as well. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
What's up, everyone? It's Shaletta. I'm here getting a phone for one of my newly minted teenagers with Xfinity Mobile. They've got great options, affordable plans, and solid coverage that works for our whole family. With Xfinity Mobile, my daughter can stay connected with me wherever she goes. And did you know when you sign up, you can get an extra phone line free for a full year? Switch to Xfinity Mobile today for more savings, more smiles, and more ways to stay connected.